To our junior categories. Welcome, children. While children are youth, our future is coming into the arena here at this time. Good job.
Coming into the arena at this time is Green Girls Fancy, Winter Girls Fancy. Come on in, ladies, come on in, dance your style, dance your style.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Hey, Rashimi down there. Good job. Good job. All our dancers are in the arena. I want to say thank you to each one.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining this week's live stream update. I hope that all of you and your families are doing healthy. I hope that all of you and your families are healthy and doing well. This week, we've decided that in addition to COVID-19 updates, that we will start doing other updates from our organizations as well in an effort to provide more communication to our community about what is happening in Winnebago. I'll start out this week's live stream with some comments from the Winnebago Comprehensive Healthcare System, and then we will move to Mona Zifante with some additional comments and move to the healthcare updates for Winnebago for COVID-19 and related issues. I wanted to start out by talking about the Winnebago Comprehensive Healthcare System and our mission. We have two divisions under the WCHS umbrella, and we are charged with the responsibility of carrying out healthcare services on behalf of the Winnebago tribe. The mission of the Winnebago Public Health Department is to create and maintain a healthy community by offering the 10 essential public health services. The mission of the 12 Clans Unity Hospital is to improve the well-being of the community by providing patient-centered healthcare that is respectful of tribal beliefs. This journey for the Winnebago tribe began more than 150 years ago as our ancestors made sure that healthcare was made available for our people in a treaty with the United States government. In 1975, the Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act was adopted by Congress, which authorized the Secretary of the Health and Human Services to enter into agreements with Indian tribes to administer various governmental services. Soon after 1975, the Winnebago started its very own Community Health Representative, or CHR program, and Public Health Nursing program in order to provide health services for our Winnebago people. Over the years, the Tribal Health Department expanded to 16 different programs to provide the vast array of services that are now available to Winnebago. In 2015, the Winnebago tribe established a self-governance steering committee to begin planning and preparing for additional expanded public health services and eventual assumption of the hospital. In 2018, the Winnebago tribe completed negotiations with the Indian Health Service and entered into a compact with the Secretary of Health and Human Services and assumed management of the now 12 Clans Unity Hospital. The establishment of the WCHS and assumption of the hospital is an exercise of tribal sovereignty and tribal self-governance. It provides an opportunity for the tribe to tailor our healthcare services to meet the needs of our community, to make decisions at the local level, and to make changes based on the needs of our very own population. We have made a tremendous amount of progress over the course of the last 2 years, and we continue to do so every day. I am very thankful that during this pandemic situation that we have the ability and the flexibility to adapt and to respond to the needs of our community at this local tribal level. I am very appreciative of the coordination and cooperation among all of our tribal entities and partners. The desire to do the right thing for the Winnebago people is paramount. Before I turn it over to Mona, our public health administrator, I would also like to wish you all a very safe and happy holiday weekend. Please continue to practice social distancing while you enjoy fireworks and enjoy your families. Also, as a reminder, except for essential emergency services, the hospital and the health department operations will be closed tomorrow, Friday, July 3rd, in observance of the holiday, so that the staff can also spend time with their families. We will resume normal operations on Monday, July 6th. Thank you again for joining us today, and at this time, I'll turn it over to Mona. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle, for the good words and reminding us of all of the history of all the good work of our leaders before us and our current ones. So good afternoon, Winnebago community. I wanted to remind our community that with the opening of surrounding areas, we always need to be mindful of what is going on around us and be watchful. And since we are changing the concentration of the PowerPoint, I will actually be starting this week's presentation. So looking at the numbers, there has been a total of 182,880 people tested within Nebraska, with 19,310 positive and 163,352 being negative, with 276 deaths. Residents that have been tested at 12 Clans Unity Hospital or at the mass testing event has yielded 314 that have been tested, and out of those, 58 have been positive, leaving about 253 negatives and 3 pending tests. In Winnebago, we have tested a total of 422 people. Out of those, 72 have been positive, 66 have been recovered, 345 are negative, and there are still 5 pending. And unfortunately, we've had 3 deaths. So more events and activities are opening up, as well as our own programs. So we would like to remind people to continue to take precautions by practicing hand hygiene and respiratory precautions. Wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds or use hand sanitizer before you leave the house. Once you arrive at your destination, and then prior to leaving the destination, and then again when you arrive back home. Make sure you avoid touching your eyes and face as much as you can. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue or your sleeve and then discard the tissue. Continue to try to practice social distancing with keeping 6 feet between yourself and anyone that doesn't live in your home. Make sure you wear a cloth mask if you need to be closer than 6 feet. Do not put a cloth mask on any child younger than 2 years old, anyone having trouble breathing, or is unconscious. And if you're sick, please stay home and get medical attention. The Winnebago Public Health Department has been working on their phased approach to start to resume operations. Starting on July 6th, the following changes are going to be starting to occur. The Winnebago Public Health Department staff will slowly start to report on site as appropriate. We will start with baby steps and continue to reevaluate as needed. The pet care event, as discussed before, will start at 10 a.m. on July 22nd at Land of Wellness. You can contact Monica Cleveland for more information. The Whirling Thunder Wellness Center will open the workout rooms with precautions for gym members only. It will be Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 p.m. for adults only. There will be allowed only 3 gym members per workout room at any given time and only be allowed for 1 hour. Disinfection will continue to be done after every use, deep cleaning at the end of the day, and we're also making a vulnerable time slot from 3 to 4 for those that wish to use the gym. You must wear your mask anytime that you're not physically working out. The pool will be open for the same times for lap swim only, and only allowing 2 to 5 adults in at any given time. The fields can also now be used for practicing on. Please arrange it with Josh Taylor. Emily has created a very lovely flyer for us that will be out on our Facebook page probably later today, and we'll have all the contact information for everyone on there. The diabetes clinic will also start to schedule telehealth visits. Optometry will still be open for emergencies, but we'll start taking appointments. They have a very long waiting list. Everybody that we've had to reschedule, we're already starting to schedule now. So we'll be seeing patients Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday again. Behavioral health will continue with their telehealth and in person as needed. The public health nursing will start their immunization clinic back up, and that will be on July 29th. And then it will be the 3rd Wednesday after that. If you have any questions, just call the public health nursing program. Audiology will also start back up. It will be on July 23rd and the 24th, and then again on August 20th and 21st. And again, you can call the public health nursing department to set up your appointment. The chiropractic clinic will also start on the 10th and the 31st. So you can call Nyla Doxy to schedule your appointment. Dental at this time will continue to see emergencies only, and we are waiting on a few equipment needs, and as soon as those come in, we're hopeful to start taking appointments on July 20th, but of course we'll keep you updated. Medical services, the senior citizens, domestic violence, Kids Cafe, and Urban Indian Connections will continue to operate as they have been. I would like to ask everyone to be patient, especially with appointments, because it's going to take us a while to get caught up, but we're going to work as safely and efficiently as we possibly can to get everyone seen. The phases will be monitored to determine when and if there's a need to move into our phase 2. We will continue to update the community as we're able to make changes. Please make sure you go like us on Facebook. They will have the most up-to-date information on there with what's going on within the public health department. We will continue to put our precautions in place. We will be reviewing and presenting to the community as we go forward. I want to thank everyone for the great job that you all are doing for the community. We are all in this together. I hope that everyone will be able to enjoy the fireworks tomorrow night. I believe that the public school will have a curbside meal at 5 p.m. and then you can head over to get a good view no earlier than 9 p.m. at Land of Wellness. So please have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. I will now turn it over to Laura Gamble, our Chief Operating Officer for the 12 Clans Unity Hospital, to discuss the new visitor policy and any other updates. Thank you.
Thanks, Mona. So just wanted to go over a couple things with everybody and hope everybody has a great and safe 4th of July weekend. So we're starting to change a few things to try to go back to some pre-COVID operations. There'll be more to come on next week and the week after, but one thing we did change was the visitor policy. And as of July 1st, which was yesterday, we are trying to open up the visitor policy just a little bit. It will not allow for everybody just to come in, but we are going to allow for one person to have support with the patient while also taking steps to prevent the spread of respiratory illness such as COVID-19. So each patient will be allowed one person, and exceptions may be made on a case-by-case scenario. The accompanied person must be 19 years or older. Minors or any person with limited ability to understand or communicate will be allowed one accompanying adult. The accompanying adult must be an immediate family member, power of attorney, or guardian or patient representative. Any adult accompanying a patient must be healthy with no fever. So that's very important. If you're going to come in and be a support or come in with a person, we really ask you to be temperature free. We ask you to not have signs and symptoms, and really, wear your PPE. We will still continue for a while longer to screen individuals entering the building, and you are still required to wear a face mask. The Wi-Fi will still be turned off in areas. Next slide. I think that's it. Thank you.
All righty. I think, is she going to present anything today, or will we continue on with the Winnebago Tribal update from the CEO? I wasn't sure. Apologize for that.
That's it for the health update, Baron. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Danelle. At this time, we'll turn our attention over to the CEO of the Winnebago Tribe, Esther Mercer.
Thank you, Garen. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. The Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska received the second round of CARES Act funds 2 weeks ago. The amount distributed to the tribe in the second round was $13.9 million. The Tribal Council and Pandemic Task Force have worked together to identify the following needs to respond to the current COVID-19 pandemic crisis. Tribal departments will be purchasing needed equipment, including additional cleaning supplies, air purifiers, and barriers in the offices to help provide a safe working environment, including emergency management equipment, as well as other equipment needs identified by each department. Funds were allocated for additional security staffing, food purchases, and to enhance internet connectivity for the community. For potential quarantine needs, the YCIC Youth Shelter will receive a needed remodel, and additional housing, both long and short term, is being funded to address quarantine isolation housing needs in the community. Additional funding was allocated to expand the tribal member housing and utility grant program. Funds were allocated to the WCHS for COVID response equipment as well as requests for needs at LPTC, the Winnebago Public School, St. Augustine's, and the Lutheran Church Daycare for their COVID response. Temperature monitoring kiosks will be purchased for all tribal entities with these funds. The remainder of the fund is to allow additional administrative costs that were incurred. A detailed budget on these funds will be made available at a later date to the public and will be published in the Winnebago Indian News. Funding to support the Utility Assistance Program is still available for those households who have not yet submitted an application. We ask for the community to please be understanding that the Human Service Office is currently processing multiple applications, and they are working diligently to get the applications that were submitted processed. It can take up to 14 days between submission of your application and the time that the check is processed. So please be patient and allow our staff the time needed to process your check from the time that your application was received. That concludes this week's update for the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. Please continue to adhere to all social distancing guidelines as set forth by the CDC and the Tribal Public Health Department. Thank you all, and we'd like to wish you a happy and safe 4th of July holiday.
Thank you, Esther. Also, kind of want to make mention, folks, for those that are tuning in, that we just got notification due to the pandemic, they will be having a Winnebago Nation 2020 Census Virtual Job Fair. It's a virtual job fair, so hiring tribal members to work on tribal lands. They're paying $7.50 an hour. It's paid training, full-time, part-time, and flexible schedules. And so you can apply online today at 2020census.gov /jobs. And from my understanding as well, they do have upwards of 20 jobs available. And so for those folks that are looking for full-time or part-time job for the census, and as everybody knows, the census is very important so that we can receive a lot of the stuff for grants and such things like that. So make sure that you apply, and any help in any jobs would be beneficial to the people, and as well as the census for 2020. At this time, we're going to turn our attention over to the Winnebago Public School. Mr. Dan Farringer, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, everybody, I wish them a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. And I know the fireworks, Jamie's excited about lighting them off Saturday night. And I believe there is a meal that's going to be served on curbside at the school that evening. Summer school started on June 22nd. Safety measures have been put in place and are being followed by both the staff and the students. And the students are doing great following those guidelines, wearing the mask, and also taking the temps when they come in. And it's been going real well so far. The staff has been working real hard at that. The Winnebago Public Schools Technology and School Year Survey received 169 responses, which I believe was very good. With that, we appreciate all those who responded, and the comments and all the responses will help us as we develop a return to school plan this fall. We've received some other school to return to fall plans, and we're going to work together. We have a group. The members of the committee are Marion Holstein, Teresa Little George, Sarah Snake, Deacon Don Blackbird, Pastor Ricky, Felicia Masquat, Pearl LaPointe, and then the school administration team. We met today with our second meeting and reviewed the responses. And so we'll start putting the plans into play as we go on. I believe on July 13th, the health state of Nebraska will come out with some more guidance on the return to school in the fall. So as soon as we put the plan together, we'll let everyone know and get that information out. Again, continue to practice safety measures, and everybody have a safe and happy 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farringer. At this time, we'll turn our attention to Little Priest Tribal College. For the president. President, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. Wishing all of you a safe and during this long weekend. Stay safe and practice social distancing, wash hands, use hand sanitizers, all the good stuff. Before I go into the details at the outset, I would like to thank Tribal Council for their leadership, their prayers and guidance during the last 2 or 3 months of this pandemic. I want to thank the Winnebago Comprehensive Health Systems, Janelle Smith's team, Pandemic Task Force, subcommittees for their work during pandemic. Their guidance, has really helped all the community members push through during this pandemic. I have 2 or 3 important updates from Little Place Tribal College. First one is a graduation 2020. Invitation will be sent to all the community members via Facebook, college website. It's on July 31st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a virtual commencement ceremony. Our commencement speaker is the CEO of the 12 Clans Unity Hospital, Janelle Smith. We are excited to have her on the for the commencement. On behalf of the college, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the community members to attend our commencement ceremony and celebrate with our graduates. For more questions regarding graduation 2020, please contact Tricia Wagner at 402-878-2380. Fall 2020 registration is open. It's completely online. As stated last week, we have some exciting offers to the community members to take advantage as they continue their higher education. I also want to extend this invitation to all the community members to actively participate as lifelong learners, to take 1 or 2 courses and to stay abreast with the latest. For more information, please contact Maria Garcia at the admissions at Little Place Tribal College. Fall 2020 starts on August 24th and completes on December 10th of 2020. Next Monday, July 6th, college is reopening after a long break of 3.5 months. We are excited for the college to reopen. We also understand that we are anticipating some growing pains as we adapt to the new normal. The college will reopen with strict guidelines, with the mask being a requirement for all employees as they walk into the campus. There will be temperature screenings as they enter the campus. We are excited to open our doors back to the community once we settle down. Again, on behalf of the college, I wish everybody a safe 4th of July long weekend. Take care.
Thank you, Manoj. At this time, we're going to turn our attention to Winnebago, the general manager, MAYAN BELTRAN. MAYAN.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday weekend. Enjoy the fireworks over in Winnebago. Please practice social distancing. From Winnebago Casino Resort, this past week we have had no new COVID-related positives. The ones that were and some of the ones that were self-quarantined because of contact tracing have already went through their 2 weeks, have shown no signs of symptoms, and have returned to work. Some were tested and came back negative, so I believe wholeheartedly that our guidelines are protecting our staff and our guests here at Winnebago Casino Resort. So we're proud to say that, you know, other than a few people getting in contact and becoming positive, everybody else has been safe so far within the walls of the casino. We're keeping close contact and watch on all these. And we've also had a discussion about doing a possible mass testing for all casino employees. So we're working out some details with that just to have a little peace of mind for some of the team members out here and for some of the guests, just to know that we're keeping the property safe. I just came out of a manager's meeting. We are working on a phase 2 reopening for earlier hours, longer hours on the weekends, table games, and some other things throughout the casino. So we will be announcing that as soon as everything's ready to roll, but that'll be coming pretty soon. Other than that, that's all we have from Winnebago's Casino Resort this week. Again, wish you well over the holiday weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayan, for that update. At this time, folks, we're going to turn our attention to HOCHUNK Incorporated. Allie Carson, multimedia producer. Allie, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you, Garen. I have a brief update today. First, we hope everyone has a safe and relaxing holiday weekend. If you need groceries, the Pony Express Market in Winnebago and Walt Hill are running holiday specials. This includes savings on ground beef, steak, and pork. Also, Coke and Pepsi products and varieties of potato chips. You can find details on the Facebook page for Pony Express stores. Again, that is the markets in Winnebago and Walt Hill. We'd also like to acknowledge our summer college interns. Felicia Masquat, who is the program coordinator, developed a new program quickly, so the company is still able to create a meaningful experience through remote work options and virtual workshops. Interns are also safely helping with several community projects outside of the company. You can learn more about these outstanding college students on the HOCHUNK Inc. Facebook page. Go over there and check out the intern spotlights. That is our update for today. And again, I'd like to wish everyone a safe and relaxing holiday weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie, for joining us here today. We're going to turn our attention to the HOCHUNK Community Development Corporation, Brian Mathers. Brian.
Thanks, Karen, and good afternoon, everyone. It's kind of exciting to see things kind of start to safely open up. We're moving into some of the later phases of things and community activities. So it's really great to see all this progress. And I think as long as we all keep staying careful and taking precautions, we can continue to grow in this direction as a community. It's very encouraging. The main thing that I want to talk about today is tomorrow's farm to family food distribution. It's a holiday, but we're still going to have that food distribution of those 240 fresh produce boxes from the farmers market structure in HOCHUNK Village. So we expect to be able to start that around 8 o'clock in the morning again. 240 boxes are coming in. It's great stuff, fresh fruits and vegetables. And we just have a protocol, if you haven't done that yet, where you just pull up in your car and we ask how many households you're picking up for, and we give you a corresponding number of boxes. We're gloved. We'll be wearing gloves tomorrow. We've been masked all along. Tomorrow we're going to add the gloves too, just for an added layer of protection. And we'll give them out until they're gone. So it might be a little bit extra food that you could include over the holiday weekend. And I found out from talking to the people running this program at the USDA, this will continue for sure until the end of the summer. And there's a good chance that it may be able to continue through the end of the calendar year. So this could be a nice, reliable source of free, fresh, healthy food, at least for the next several months. And we'll keep coordinating that. We're also coordinating other food distributions with the Tribes Pantry program that is being stood up and with Atlas. So we'll be working in partnership with those two entities to try to keep different types of food and at different times, depending on the food that people need and when they're available to participate, so that nobody gets left out with that. And that's really the only thing I have an update for today. I just want to make sure people know it's there tomorrow. But on behalf of HOCHUNK Community Development Corporation, I want to wish everyone a safe and happy Independence Day weekend. Take precautions, be safe, don't let anybody put any raisins in your potato salad or anything crazy like that. Just try to have fun. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian, and we appreciate the update. At this time, we're going to turn our attention over to Emily with the Winnebago Comprehensive Healthcare System. Emily.
Thanks, Garen. Today we do not have any questions from community members, but just a reminder that you can email any questions you have to covid@winnebagotribe.com, and we will answer those. Also, if you could like 12 Sands Unity Hospital and the Winnebago Public Health Department on Facebook, in the next couple of days we will be posting a lot of information and updates as far as all the departments' openings and contact information for those individual departments. So if anybody has questions, they can get in contact with the right entities. As we start opening up we'll be utilizing the Facebook pages as well as distributing flyers and information through some of the community mails as well. That's all I had for today. Thank you, everybody, and have a safe and wonderful weekend.
We'd like to appreciate everybody and everybody that jumped on today's call. Folks, that's all we have for today's weekly COVID-19 live stream update. And be looking out for all the things that are going to be opening next week. As always, we appreciate those that are tuning in. And don't forget, tomorrow evening is the 3rd of July Winnebago Community Firework Display. Starting at 5 p.m., there'll be curbside meal over at the Winnebago Public School. Make sure that you just pop your trunk and they will put that meal in there. Practice social distancing. Parking for the Land of Wellness will commence at 9 p.m. and the fireworks will start about 10 p.m. Around that area or when it's completely dark. And we hope that everybody has a good, safe holiday weekend. Thanks for everybody for joining on, and that will